Okay, we're going to solve this trace table for the given flowchart. And the question says that we're supposed to complete the trace table for the input data that is being given here, right? We're going to use this input data and complete our trace table. Okay, let's get started. This is the first place. This is where the flowchart starts. And we can see that the next step is this box here. And what are we doing here? We're setting the value of total to 0. So I'm going to set the value of total to 0. And then we are also setting the value of reject to 0. So I'm going to fill this up with 0 also. So this was 0 and that is also 0. Total and reject have both been set to 0. And after we've set total and reject to 0, we can see that there's a loop starting here, right? We can see that there's a loop. This here is a loop, right? We can see that, right? And the best thing to do with loops is that as soon as you enter the loop, like this is the first box inside the loop, as soon as you enter the loop, you should move on to the next row in the trace table. So I'm not going to do anything here anymore. Okay, so I'm not going to use this row. Rather, as soon as I enter the loop, I am going to move on to the next row. So this input weight, which means what? This is the first value of weight, 1.8. I'm not going to add that here. Rather, I am going to choose the next row, which is this one. I'm going to write 1.8 here. Okay, once I've done the input, I'll just make sure, just as a practice, even you should cut it off so that in the exam, where you are so far with the inputs, right? So I've just used this value, so I cut it off. So once I've done, once I have taken the input, what am I going to do next? I'm going to come to this box, right? This is a decision box. And what is it saying? Is weight equals -1? And we can see that the value of weight right now is 1.8. It is not equal to -1. So because it says no, therefore the answer is no. Therefore, we come to this next decision box, which says what? Which says, is weight greater than 25? Is weight greater than 25? Is 1.8 greater than 25? And the answer is no. If the answer is no, we are going to choose this route. And what are we doing here? We are setting the value of total to total plus weight. Okay. To do this total plus weight, we're going to see the current value of total, the most recent value of total from the trace table. We can see it is 0. And the most recent value of weight from the trace table, and we can see that that is 1.8. Right? So 0 plus 1.8 would give us 1.8, and the result has to be saved in the variable total. So we're going to update. And we're going to update total with the value of 1.8. From here, we can see that the flow is going back upwards to this point. So we are re-entering the loop. As soon as we re-enter the loop, we are going to move on to the next row. What is the first thing we are doing in the loop? Once again, the first thing that we're doing is input weight. So what is the next value of weight? That is 26.0. And I'm going to write 26.0 here in the next row. What are we doing next? Once this has been done, we come down to this decision box. Is weight equals -1? The answer is no. So we're going to come down and we're going to check, is weight greater than 25? And the answer is yes. If the answer is yes, where do we go? We go to the right, right? And this is where we are going to carry out this step. Reject equals reject plus 1. So we're going to take a look at the value of reject from the trace table, right? And the most recent value in the trace table is 0, right? So our equation effectively becomes 0 plus 1, which is going to be what? 1. right? So reject is now going to get a value of 1. And from here, we are going here and it's part of the loop. So we're going back up for the next round of the loop. So inside the loop, what is the first thing that we're doing? Input weight. So this is the next value of weight, 7, right? So 7.0. So we're going to update our trace table with 7.0. And is weight equals to -1? The answer is no. So we're going to come down. Is weight greater than 25? The answer is no. So we're going to come down because 7.0 is not greater than 25, right? So we always have to take the most recent value given in the trace table. So when we're doing this comparison, we're comparing weight with 25. We take a look at the trace table and we see the most recent value is 7.0. So we compare 7.0 with 25. Is 7.0 greater than 25? And the answer is no, right? And if the answer is no, we're going to come down here and we're going to update our total. Total equals total plus weight, which is going to be what? The most recent value of total, which we can see from the trace table, is 1.8. The most recent value of weight is 7.0. So when we add these two together, the answer is 8.8, and that answer has to be stored in total itself. So we're just going to update total here. But what you should notice is that when the value of weight was 26, then, that value got rejected, right? We can see, this probably means the value gets rejected. And we did not modify the table. When the value of weight was 26, we took this route, right? We updated reject, and then we went all the way back up for the next input, right? Now just notice that when we took this route, we missed this box. We did not update the value of total. So we did not do anything here, right? We've left this box empty. Remember, if you're not visiting a box, if you're not updating a variable and its value, then you have to leave uh, that box empty for that run of the loop. When the value of weight was 26, we did not update our total, right? Because we had to update the value of reject. Therefore, we left this this slot here for total, we left it empty, and that is how it should be done. If you're not updating a variable, then you should, and if you're not visiting a variable uh, during a run of the loop, if this was the path that you were taking, right? If this was the path you were taking, then you're going to update total, right? And when you're taking this path, then you're not going in this direction. You're not going towards reject. So that box reject is going to be left empty. Even though its previous value was 0, we are not going to write 0 here. Rather, we're going to leave it blank because we did not visit this box. We did not update reject when the value of weight, for example, was 1.8, right? We in this case we updated the value of total. So the trace table is basically telling us what path the code takes, which variables were updated when the value of weight was 1.8, which variable was updated when the value of weight was 26.0, and which variable was updated when we visited when the value of weight was 7.0, right? So we're only going to fill up the corresponding uh, tables, corresponding slots, corresponding variables. Okay, let's keep going. And so what are we doing next? Let's see. Okay, so this was this was 8.8, right? Okay, let's move on now. So once we've updated our total, we go back up What do we do next? We are going to take the input, right, inside the loop. The value is 11.3. We're going to update weight. From here, we come here. Is weight equals to -1? The answer is no. Is weight greater than 25? The answer is no. So we're going to update total. Total is equal to the recent total, which is 8.8, plus weight, which is 11.3. So this should come out to be what? 19 and 20.1, right? So we're going to update our value of total to 20.1, right? And so this is 20.1, okay? 20.1. And once we've done this, we go back up. We go back once again to take the input. The next value of weight is 10.0. So we're going to write 10.0 here. And then, is weight greater than -1? The answer is no. So we're going to come down. Is weight greater than 25? The answer is no. So we're going to come down and update the total once again. And total is equal to total plus weight. The most recent value of total is 20.1. And the most recent value of weight is 10.0. So what are we going to do? 20.1 plus 10.0 would give us 30.1. I hope I'm doing the calculations right. Please don't mind if I've done the addition wrong, but hopefully you understand how this works. Then what's happening? Once we've updated our total, we go back up. Once again, take another input. What is the next value? It's 2.5. So we're going to input 2.5 here. And from this box, we go here. Is weight equals to -1? The answer is no. So we come down. Is weight greater than 25? The answer is no. So we come down. Total is equal to total plus weight. So the most recent value is 30.1 and 2.5. This should give us 32.6. And from here, we go back up and take the next input, right? And what is the next value? 25.2. So we're going to input 25.2 here. And from here we go, is weight equals to -1? The answer is no. Is weight greater than 25? The answer is yes, because the most recent value of weight is 25.2, right? So that is greater than 25. In this case, total is not going to get updated, right? This value variable reject is going to get updated. So reject plus 1. The most recent value of reject is 1. So the equation becomes 1 plus 1. So this is equal to 2, right? So we're going to write 2 here. Once we've written 2, we've updated the trace table. We go back up, go to the loop, go inside the loop, input weight, and the next value of weight is 5.0. And we're going to write 5.0 here. And do what? Is weight equals to -1? The answer is no. We come down. Is weight greater than 25? And the answer is no, because weight is currently equal to 5, right? 5.0. Total is equal to total plus weight. What's the most recent value of total? 22.6, right? So 22.6 plus 5.0 would give us 27.6. Okay, so we keep going. And what's next? I hope you know that I have some more. What do I have? I think the table, does not have enough boxes, but let's see what we're going to do next, right? So once we've updated 27.6, we're going to go back up inside the loop. Next value is 19.8. So we're going to write 19.8 here. It's going to write 19. Sorry, I should not be writing 19.8 in the total box, right? I should be writing 19.8 here as the weight, the next weight that has been input. Okay, now once this value has been input, what is the next thing? We check is weight equals to -1? The answer obviously is no. Is weight greater than 25? The answer is no. We're going to update the total. Total equals total plus weight. This is the most recent value of weight. Most recent value of total. 27.6 plus 19.8. That should be 30, 46, 46.8, right? 46.8 and 47.4. Okay. Don't, so this value that the total might end up being incorrect because I'm doing it mentally, but you should understand how this is working. And I am not left with any space here, unfortunately. So what am I going to do? I am going to just move slightly to the right and create, some more, what should I do? I should create about 4 of these, right? So this one is for total, reject, weight, and output. Okay. So once we've updated the total, right? Once we've updated the total here, we're going to go back up and take the next input. What is the next input value? That is 29.3. The next input value is 29.3. So where's this? This column is for weight, right? This was for reject, and this was for total, and this right here is for output, right? So what is the next input? The next input is 29.3. So we're going to write 29.3 here. And then we're going to check, is weight equals to -1? The answer obviously is no. Is weight greater than 25? The answer is yes. So we're going to update what? The value of reject, right? And reject, most recent value is 2. So 2 plus 1 would give us 3, right? This would give us 3. So we're going to update reject here. Once we've updated reject, we're just going to go back up the loop, take the next input. The next value of weight is -1, right? So I am going to write -1 here. And after that, we're going to come down and check, is weight equals to -1? The answer is yes. If the answer is yes, what are we going to do? We're going to output, we have to output the value of total and reject. Okay, now let's see. Let's suppose we do not have another row. Let's suppose we do not have another row uh, given in our table. Then it doesn't matter. We can write our output here. We can write our output here. So we don't really have to move to the next row. Generally, if you have space, if you have another row given, you can move to the next row. Remember, it is not, this part is not important. The output could be written in the same row, or we can write it in the next row. It doesn't matter. Okay. So this output, once we've exited the loop, the most recent value of total is what? Is 47.4. So we're going to write 47.4, comma. The next value that has to be output is the value of reject. The most recent value of reject is 3. So we're going to write comma 3 here. So this is how trace tables are solved. We leave the places empty when we don't visit the variables, when we don't update them. We leave some blank spaces, okay? I hope you've understood how this works.